upcoming PlayStation event could be delayed further into March. Reading from Game Rant, with ongoing major world events causing delays, the long-rumored next PlayStation event might arrive later in the month than expected. While the only major gaming event to come from 2022 so far has been the most recent Nintendo Direct presentation, the year has been off to a strong start for video game news, with the major announcements that Microsoft will be acquiring Activision Blizzard and all of its subsidiaries, and Sony will be acquiring Bungie. That said, as the year inches closer to the E3 timeframe, many are expecting a big PlayStation event to come as Sony is preparing some of its biggest games of the year for reveal. While many sources have indicated that Sony will have a showcase later this month, a new rumor indicates that it could be delayed until the end of the month. Rumors of a PlayStation showcase set to arrive in March have been circulating since the beginning of the year, with many industry insiders claiming that the main reason the upcoming Harry Potter RPG Hogwarts Legacy hasn't been featured in any industry events recently is due to the publisher waiting to show it at the next big PlayStation event, as the game was revealed during the 2020 PlayStation Showcase. This has since been corroborated by many insiders, sharing further details and evidence of a big PlayStation event set to air in March of 2022. Now, European gaming publication Game Reactor has claimed that Sony is preparing its next big event for March, one which was originally scheduled to take place this week. The publication claims that the reason Sony has not announced the event yet is because some studios presenting titles during the showcase have requested for it to be postponed as to not take attention away from news surrounding Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Apparently, this has initiated talks regarding postponing the event for a week or two. However, the writer seems confident that the event will air sometime in March. Sony, like others in the industry, has a history with delaying events to not divert attention from major world events and news. In June 2020, the company delayed its Future of Gaming event, which revealed the PlayStation 5 in order to not detract any attention from the Black Lives Matter movement. Just last week, Sony announced that it would suspend sales of GT7 from the Russian PlayStation Store in response to the invasion of Ukraine. Despite everything, it seems like Sony is still set on airing its latest showcase in March, which makes sense given that after Ghostwire Tokyo's release on March 25th, none of the studio's upcoming slate of PlayStation 5 exclusive have solid release dates. Titles like God of War Ragnarok and Hogwarts Legacy do not have solidified release dates, and Square Enix promised at the end of 2021 that it would showcase Final Fantasy XVI during spring 2022, so it seems like some sort of PlayStation event is approaching quickly. So yeah, I mean, obviously, there's been a lot of rumors and insiders, pretty much since this year started coming out and saying that like Sony's going to have like their next big event earlier on in the year. I remember going into this year, a lot of people were saying like, we probably won't get any updates on like God of War or anything like that, or like a big PlayStation showcase until like June or around E3 time, and I mean, that obviously makes sense because, whenever Sony showed off the PS5, that was back in June of 2020, and then last year we got a big showcase in September. I mean, the event itself wasn't big, but it was the last 10 minutes when we saw God of War and Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, and I know in this article it's saying like specifically a PlayStation showcase, but I've also heard rumors about like a state of play, which obviously state of plays aren't as massive as showcases. State of plays are usually for like an in-depth dive of one game, or like smaller indie games, or just small updates. If I had to predict, like this month would we either get a state of play or a PlayStation showcase, I'm leaning more towards possibly a showcase, with the recent news that Forspoken has been delayed to October. So I'm really starting to warm up to the idea of God of War Ragnarok releasing in June. That's really starting to make more sense to me, and obviously I hope that is true. I don't want to wait until like the end of the year, as I'm sure most of you guys are as well. But yeah, I mean, obviously I'm really excited for this month potentially. Apparently it was supposed to happen this week, whether it was a PlayStation showcase or just a state of play, but obviously due to world events, apparently they delayed that by a couple weeks, so yeah, I mean, I do expect at least like a state of play Now, I know I've heard some people saying, like, what if we get a State of Play and a PlayStation Showcase in the same month? And I'm just going to let you know now, there is no way that's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, only time will tell. I mean, Sony could have delayed this maybe by a couple months or a month. Who knows? Maybe we'll get this big event or State of Play in April or May. But what do you guys think? Down below, let me know how you feel about, apparently Sony was planning on having a event later this week, but they might have delayed it, possibly by a couple weeks, maybe even longer. Do you feel like it'll be a State of Play, or do you feel like it'll be much bigger, kind of like a PlayStation Showcase? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, drop it a like and consider subscribing if you're new by turning on the post notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. Until next time, guys, take care.